Ductmate Industries, leading the way around the world in innovative duct connection technology with manufacturing and sales offices worldwide, featuring rectangular, round, and oval duct connection systems in all applicable alloys. This instructional video has been developed by Ductmate Industries to clearly demonstrate the specific assembly and installation procedures associated with the DM25 and DM35 rectangular duct connection systems. The Ductmate 25 and 35 rectangular duct connection systems, which are available in a wide variety of standards and specialty metals for virtually all application, consists of flange, roll form to rigid tolerance criteria, precision stamped corner pieces, metal and PVC cleat available in 6-inch or 10-foot lengths, and DM440 gasket, which has been developed to satisfy the specialized needs of a gasket in a rectangular duct connection system. The first step is to cut the Ductmate flange. Never cut Ductmate flange with the legs up. Chips may fall into the mastic and create seating problems. Never use an abrasive blade to cut Ductmate flange. Heat from the cutting process can melt the mastic and create a large burr, which could lead to corner insertion problems. Always use a metal friction saw blade with sufficient horsepower. Slam the blade through the angle as quickly as possible. A bandsaw or hacksaw may be substituted. Cut the Ductmate flange 1 1/4 inch to 1 3/8 inches shorter than the duct dimension. Remember, when cutting Ductmate flange, cut with the legs down, never use an abrasive blade, cut the flange 1 1/4 inch to 1 3/8 inches shorter than the duct dimension. Once the flange is cut, the frame can be assembled. Before assembling the frame, make sure that the Ductmate model stamp on the Ductmate corner piece faces the same direction as the leg of the flange. Begin by inserting a Ductmate corner piece into each end of the 2 shorter sections of flange to form 2 end sets. Next, insert the end sets into the longer flange pieces. The frame is now complete. When assembling the Ductmate frame, be sure that the model stamp on the corner faces the same direction as the leg of the flange. To install the completed Ductmate frame, start at the corner of the duct. The corners of the duct should not be notched when using the Ductmate connection system. Use a mallet to seat the frame onto the duct. If the duct corner or the longitudinal lock seam gets caught under the Ductmate corner, just tap the frame outwards to allow the Ductmate corner piece to slide past the duct corner. Work in one direction around the duct when seating the frame. It is critical that the duct wall is seated all the way into the integral mastic pocket of the Ductmate flange. Establish metal-to-metal contact along the full perimeter of the frame. Because of the exclusive patented downset feature, the duct will protrude beyond the Ductmate corner piece. Once the frame has been seated properly, begin fastening in one corner, working in one direction around the perimeter of the duct. The Ductmate frame may be fastened to the duct with self-drilling screws, spot welds, or rivets. It is essential that the frame angle is fastened to the duct within 3/4 inches of the end of the flange at each corner. When a second screw is required at each corner, it must be placed within 2 to 3 inches from the end of the Ductmate angle. Fastening requirements will vary with duct size and pressure classifications. Consult the chart in the installation and assembly manual for proper fastening. When fabricating fittings, allow at least 1 1/2 inches of straight duct at each end to allow for clearance of the Ductmate flange. Also, for ease in shipping, the Ductmate flange may be installed on L-shaped and 4-piece knocked-down ductwork. On L-shaped ductwork, notch the hammer edge of the female Pittsburgh lock down 1/4 inch. In the shop, install the Ductmate flange on the duct without corner pieces. In the field, insert a corner piece all the way into the Ductmate flange at the male Pittsburgh lock end. Start the other leg of the corner piece into the Ductmate flange at the female Pittsburgh lock. drive the corner piece all the way in while making sure that the male end of the Pittsburgh lock goes into the female end. Bend the hammer edge of the Pittsburgh lock around in the standard manner. For 4-piece knocked down ductwork, the flange should be centered on the duct wall. The duct can be completed in the field similar to the L-shaped ductwork. A snap lock joint can be made up in the field without notching or coping of the duct. Remember, when installing the duct bait flange, be certain that the duct wall is thoroughly seated in the integral mastic, establishing metal-to-metal contact to avoid leakage. Make sure that the duct wall protrudes past the corner downset. Check the manual for proper fastening intervals. The next step is to apply the DuctMate 440 gasket. Before applying the 440 gasket tape, be sure that the flange is free of oil and debris. Begin applying DuctMate 440 gasket tape about halfway between duct corners. Position gasket in the center of the DuctMate flange. Do not stretch the gasket when applying. At the corners, it is important that the gasket be positioned in an arc so that it covers the 3 critical points. Press the gasket firmly into contact with the raw edge of the duct corner and the DuctMate corner assembly. Some gasket will protrude into the airstream. Continue applying the 440 gasket completely around the DuctMate frame to the starting point. Where the gasket meets, overlap about 3/8 of an inch. On the mating DuctMate frame, apply 440 gasket only to the corners, using about 3 inches per corner. Again, make sure that the gasket covers the 3 critical points at the duct corner. When low temperatures are a factor during the installation, it is necessary to keep the 440 butyl gasket warm prior to application in order to aid adhesion. Although 440 is the recommended gasket, there are times when neoprene gasket may be required between the flanges. All 8 corners of the mating frame must be sealed with a suitable caulking or sealant before the gasket is applied. Locate the gasket towards the outside of the flange face when applying. In the corners, make sure that all 3 critical points are covered. Where the gasket meets, the free end should be butted together instead of overlapped. Remember, when applying gasket, make sure that the flange face is clean. The 3 critical points must be covered on all corners. Do not stretch the gasket. You can now join the flange. Carefully align the mating frames before they touch, because the DuctMate 440 adheres on contact. A drift pin can be used to correct any misalignment. Compress the gasket at the corners with a vice grip while driving on the corner clips. Instead of the vice grip and drift pin combination, you may wish to use DuctMate alignment grips to simplify the assembly. Slide the corner clips onto the joined corner pieces. Tap with a hammer until the rear tab seats itself into the notch on the corner piece and locks in for a permanent connection. In situations where space limitations are a factor, a bolt may be used in place of the corner clips. Repeat this process at each corner of the duct for a quick grip while driving on the corner clips. Instead of the vice grip and drift pin combination, you may wish to use DuctMate alignment grips to simplify the assembly. Slide the corner clips onto the joined corner pieces. Tap with a hammer until the rear tab seats itself into the notch on the corner piece and locks in for a permanent connection. In situations where space limitations are a factor, a bolt may be used in place of the corner clips. Repeat this process at each corner of the duct for a quick, strong, no-leak connection of uniform quality every time. Also available are the optional 16-gauge or 12-gauge bolted corner systems. Remember, for a perfect connection, remember to align the mating frames before they touch. Compress gasket at corners before driving on the corner clips. When using a bolted corner, do not over-tighten or under-tighten the bolts. You are now ready to apply the cleat. First, apply a regular vice grip to the flange where the cleat will be located to compress the gasket. Now place the hook end of the cleat on the cleat bubble and deliver a swift blow with a mallet. With DM440 gasket, use a 6-inch cleat, 24 inches on center for all low, medium, and high pressure applications. When using a cleat with neoprene gasket, consult the assembly manual for cleat spacing. If a corner cannot be clipped or bolted because it is not accessible, the cleat can be driven onto the mating flanges to complete the duct mate connection. For weatherproof duct connection, install a full-length, one-piece cleat to the duct flange joint to prevent water from collecting on the gasket. Your connection is now complete. No external sealing is required. SMACNA states that frequently a contractor installing a high-velocity duct system will employ a duct joint with which either he or his workforce have no experience. In such a case, it is strongly recommended that the contractor promptly test the initial 100 to 300 feet of duct before installing any more duct. This test will quickly reveal whether or not the workman can make this joint airtight in an economical manner. For application assistance, contact DuctMate at either the East Monongahela office or the Stockton, California office. DuctMate Industries has also developed products and accessories to simplify the installation and assembly of duct systems. The chopper saw is especially engineered to cut DuctMate easier, cleaner, and faster. DuctMater combines the seating of the DuctMate frame and the securing of the frame by spot welding into one simple robotic operation. The DuctMate Repeater with sequential trip is a revolutionary fastening tool. Powered by compressed air, the repeater is a combination pneumatic nailer and screwdriver. It is capable of production rates in excess of 1 fastener per second, and the magazine holds 100 fasteners per loading. Easy Rod, a simple, strong tie rod system to make the installation of tie rods faster and easier than conventional methods. Light wall conduit is used, which makes the tie rods applicable for both positive and negative pressure situations. Roll-formed angle. Pre-punched, roll-formed galvanized angle, available in a wide variety of SMACNA reinforcement classifications. This convenient product can be used for reinforcing, brackets, stiffeners, bracing, and hangers. Trapeze hanger. Pre-punched channel-type hanger system which allows for simple, easy hanging of ductwork and small equipment. Optional hanger accessories include isolation pads, isolation hangers, and beam clamps. Access doors. A simple, economical door which provides easy access where necessary. The principle of construction is similar to access doors for high-pressure vessels, which allows for sealing under both positive and negative pressures.